Hi, hello everyone. Good evening, and trust we are all doing well today. Today we'll be having like a really exciting and insightful session with GoNomad, and trust me, it's going to really be an amazing one. And today's session is titled "Accelerating Mobile Growth for Your Business in 2024," and trust me, it's going to really be awesome one. Thank you for everyone just joining in. So I'm going to also like be sending out the links to everyone who has opted to be here tonight. So just to make sure everyone is here before we get started, I'm just going to keep playing the intro, and we're going to come back here to get started. Okay. Okay. Hello everyone. An invite was just sent out to everyone who has signed up for this webinar. Everyone should start joining in real soon. So I'll be bringing a speaker up stage already, and yeah, today we'll be having Uke Jr., the founder of GoNomad. Yeah, GoNomad is a company that focuses on basically helping businesses take their ideas, their products, their services global, right? And today we have like the founder of GoNomad in partnership with BrandDrive to actually talk about how you can accelerate global growth for your business in 2024. So I'm going to be bringing up the founder of GoNomad now, and we'll just kickstart the conversation immediately. Good evening. Trust you well. You can hear me
Hey
loud and
man,
clear.
yeah, good evening. Hi. Good
Yeah,
to be here. Thanks
yeah,
for having me. I feel
yeah. You
excited. I
too.
feel really great. Anytime I get to talk about global business, international business, I
Awesome.
think it's like one of my favorite topics for the past 3 years running,
Yeah,
or 2 years or so. But yeah, I feel really great. Thanks for having me. Thank you to the Brand Drive
awesome.
team. I am
Yeah.
deeply honored and I feel ready to go. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm well. I'm well. Thank you for the question. We're just going to get started immediately, right? So I'm just going to throw a question to you to just give. I know and what you like to talk about, but I just love you to shed some light on who are you, what do you do, what is Go Nomad like in an overview, right?
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yes, so my name is Uke, and I'm the co-founder at and CEO at GoNomad. And primarily, what we do at GoNomad is we help businesses start and launch their businesses internationally, and of course, sell into global markets, transact internationally, all in one place. So with GoNomad, you can basically launch a company in the US or the UK within 24 hours. It's that rapidly fast. And you get access to global banking for your business. You get access to international e-commerce tools and platforms for your business. So it's basically just international business. And of course, I believe that that's a topic that Brand Drive shares deeply with.
Awesome. Oh, interesting. Just to like get the conversation like started. The people that are going to be watching this both on live and the replays are basically individuals, let's say creatives, entrepreneurs export their ideas globally, right? So just to get started, like, what is the first thing? Let's say, oh, this person is started from scratch. This person just wants to, they know that their business should be global. What is that first thing they should take to note if you are aiming to actually hit global growth this year and beyond?
Okay, awesome. I've just been, taking a look at my notes here because I believe that, and of course, that's where I'm going to be sharing my process from. So, to your question, and I like that you started on that note, right? I think one of the first things that you want to do when you're looking to go global with your business, you're looking to launch international, you're looking to sell to, the rest of the world, you're looking to sell globally, whether it's a physical product, whether it's a service, whether it's, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you audit your market, right? So you want to establish your actual market. Where is your actual market? I think that's the first thing that you want to properly define and properly determine, right? If you do not know where your market is, then you don't exactly know where you're launching into. Because when it comes to doing business internationally, there's like different countries you can imagine. There's the US, there's the UK, there's Canada, there's Australia, there's a bunch of countries, right? Depending on where you are from.
Yeah.
If you're trying to launch from, say, an African country, you have a plethora of options to consider. If you're trying to launch out internationally from the UK, you also have a plethora of options to consider. And so it's very important that you establish your market first. Where's your market, right? With what you sell, where is it best in demand or most in demand, right? Once you establish that, the next question is, how do I reach that market? How do I position to reach that market from where I am? Okay, what are the payment methods there? What are the marketing principles there? How do they like to buy my typical kind of product or service, right? And then you begin to do the groundwork. Okay, so that's the first thing. You want to establish your market. That's the first thing. Where exactly is my market? What country in the world, what region in the world is heavily demanding for my product or my service, right? And so I think that's something that's very, very key.
Okay, I think that's really, really interesting. Properly being able to define your market at the start,
Yeah.
I think like is the biggest deal, right? Because if you don't know the audience you are looking to actually target or to sell to, then there's really no need of actually trying to move
Yeah.
forward with that. So that's pretty really, really pretty interesting to actually know the people you're looking to. And I think like that's one solution like BrandDrive like also seek to provide. Like,
Pretty
when
much.
you know this individual, right, and they come up on your platform, how do you actually how do you retain them? How do you keep them? How do you want to constantly like make sure you're getting the most value for them?
Yeah.
So that was like a very, very interesting that was a very, very interesting point over there. So I think my next question would definitely be okay, I do the first thing. I need to take my business global. I hear a lot of things that because I think the mindset to go global is actually different from the mindset to run your business locally. So first off, like, what would you think like is that frame of mind for someone that's looking to take their business global? How should they be thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think largely you want to see yourself as a multinational. So that's the mentality that I like to preach about when it comes to doing business internationally. You want to make moves like a multinational, right? So your typical multinational corporations, right? The Coca-Colas of the world, right? The Apples of the world, okay? The largest, enterprises of the world, okay, who are operating in a gazillion amounts of countries across the world. You want to see yourself like that, and you want to you want to make moves like how they make moves, and so how they think, about launching into a new market, how they think about promoting within a region, how they think about pricing within a region, all of those things, how they think about product delivery within a region, how they think about compliance, tax compliance, IP registration, how they think about all of these things within a region. You want to borrow that, kind of mentality and mindset as well, because in running your business in that way, with that framework of thinking, you are sort of, protected to a large extent. You are tapping into what's already working. That's why I recommend, it's like the if you've come across, the saying that says go study the ants, right, and be like them.
Yeah.
So that's how I preach to business owners when they're looking to go global. I say, hey, go
Right.
study multinational corporations and be like them, right? So how do they think? How do they promote in those markets? How do they launch new products there, right? You're not exactly trying to launch like they launch, right?
Yeah.
But you're trying to borrow,
Yeah.
a certain
Exactly.
mentality. Okay, that's
Yeah.
exactly what you're trying to do,
Yeah.
right? So that's a mindset that I think helps. Okay, and because these companies are pretty much well structured across different operational facets of business, whether it's their payments, their invoicing, their process management. When you look at them and you think like them, you would be also able to improve your own processes
Yeah.
internally while trying to go global.
Yeah, that's a very pretty interesting one. So also like from the standpoint of how you get to manage, how you get to think and everything. I also like that a lot of business owners have to have, and I like this come from the standpoint of how really grow, maybe raise funding and all is, and that was a to manage your financials. How do you get to even track things that
Yeah.
I think that's a very major one, and I'm glad that BrandDrive and like we solve like so much of like these problems that have been mentioned, and GoNomad like also like solves very fantastic. So I loved the aspect of the kind of mindset looking to get into the global and playing the global space. So I think the next question I would have, I think I'm ready. I have the mindset. I'm thinking right. I know the kind of people I'm looking, who I'm aiming to attract, like in this market, which is very a very important point. That I think one thing everyone says is just start, but I feel like just start for some people is like, where do I start from, right? So how would you say um, you already have your mindset right, you already know the people you are going for, like what are those to just kick off and start running?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that question, Great Darling. You said what are those what? Did you mean
So what,
tools, platforms?
yeah, what are those one, second, third, three layers you would advise anyone just starting out, like any person out there who has their mindset right, they know the audience they're going for, what should they be doing next, what other layers should they be building on?
Okay, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so all right, so there's nothing set in stone. Okay, as a business person, there's no one, two, three. That's the only way to do a thing, right? There's only best practices as they'll call them. There's only recommended steps and processes as they are called. So even when you listen on calls like this, you're not exactly trying to go copy paste. Okay, you're trying to take and fine tune depending on how your business is set up. All right, so say you have the right mindset, you are thinking like how you're supposed to be thinking, you have a good vision for your business internationally. What's next? What are the next three steps you want to begin to take? Okay, so first things first is product testing. Okay, begin to test your product. Now this phase is you actually pushing your product out there. Okay, doing the necessary groundwork. So say you are in the physical product space. Okay, maybe get ready to send out 50 products, all right, to a warehouse abroad where your products are going to be hosted, and then you're going to try to sell them. Okay, so maybe get if you're doing drop shipping, get your e-commerce store on WooCommerce or Shopify, and all the other popular platforms ready. Okay, why are you getting it ready? So that you can immediately, begin to get ready to actually push, get ready to actually sell, right? And this is very important. Okay, you want to begin to do some level of market testing. Okay,
Yeah.
getting out there, right? So get your system set up for sales already and begin to promote. And then the next thing, once you've been able to validate your market a little bit, you want to now consider establishing your base. Now you're beginning to get a lot of, you're beginning to get eyeballs, awareness. Okay, customers are reaching out, inquiries. Maybe you aren't even able to fulfill orders yet, but you're getting customer inquiries and things of that nature. You want to now establish your base. So set up a legal entity in that country. Okay, that would most likely be your next best bet. Okay, and that affords you the ability to have localized banking, localized payment infrastructure that you control. Okay, localized addresses to operate your business in, localized payment tools, everything, localized phone supports for your customers, and so much more, right? It gives your customers a global feel to you, right?
Yeah.
And it elevates your brand as well. Okay, it
Yeah.
elevates your brand as well. So that's one of the next steps you want to take, right? And then after that, so you can consider that step number two, if you will. After that, the next thing that you want to do now is scale. Okay, things are beginning to work. You have your structure and systems in place. Scale. How do you take it up a notch? Right? Scale. How do you increase what you're doing? Increase the value, the volume, and so much more of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so scale
Awesome.
is the next most important thing that you want to take note of. So I hope that those three
Yeah.
points right there do help.
A lot of justice. So actually there's one thing I really picked out from what you said, to be able to start selling, right? I think that's where like most people get stuck. Like you have the fantastic idea, you have the product, but now the time to get to market to actually start pushing out those products out there, because like one saying that we all know is that you have no business till you make a sale, right? That is really no business right there, right? So I think one huge problem a brand drive that we try to address is the time to market. For example, you could leverage like the brand drive online shop to quickly like set up this online shop. For example, if you're a in Nigeria, we have this collaboration with GoNomad. You could also like set up like your business to also like address and still be able to now track those track your business spendings, your business profits, every single thing that's happening, like your daily and that time it takes to get to market is one thing that is going to like really save you time. And the way in which you can eliminate that time by finding like a tool that could give you like this so much
Absolutely,
you would like be far ahead more than almost everybody out there will claims to.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then the number two most times when you get to the point of scale, these where businesses start to look at investors and all. Like, what's one big problem you see with like let's say, oh, they're looking to scale, they're looking to raise funds, they're looking to like do everything at once. What's one problem they always like encounter, and it's due to something wrong in their system, or they don't something they don't track or something? Like, what is one issue you see with people that want to scale, to the people on this call that want that at this point of scale, what are their points? Yeah.
Okay, I believe from my understanding of that question, it's basically what's the other part or portion where people typically get stuck, right, when
Correct.
trying to scale, right, their international business. Okay, what's one thing that they're not doing right that's making them get stuck? And there are a couple of things, but one of such things is um, not being patient enough with the business. Now, and if you ask most people, how long did it take you to get to like a fully established, base or space in your business, right, locally? You would hear them call out some numbers like, oh, it took me like 3 years to get my fully in, 2 years, right, to get going, get to a very reasonable position and things of that nature. But then when they're looking to scale internationally, just because they say, hey, there are hundreds of millions of people out there, it's a bigger market globally, they expect returns and results in one day or 2 months or 3 months. They're not willing to give the business as much time or as much effort, as much processes to also materialize something. And mind you, a lot of these people who are attempting this, attempting to run a global business are not yet present in those regions where they're trying to operate in. Okay, so That means you're starting
Yeah.
off with lesser home advantage. Okay, you're taking advantage of technology to accelerate your growth, and so you must be willing to give things time, right? Whether you're setting up your
Yeah.
online shop on BrandDrive and any other strategy you're using to scale up, you must be willing to give things time, and you must be willing to invest in the
Yeah.
process, just as you did for your local business
Yeah.
to be established. You must be willing to also be patient and willing to invest in the process for your global business to also be established. It's a business; it will take time.
Correct. Correct. Of the idea of the that's one thing a lot of people skip out on. They don't stay true to this business, and in processes like documenting your processes, making everything looking to like raise funding for your organization. You need to have oh, this is what we've been doing. This is what, like, I think the worst thing that could happen to numbers, and you're like often confused because you don't have like this, right? And I feel like
Yeah,
this is one important place BrandDrive comes in, because how would you, because as a global business you should be able to track your processes, you be able to know, oh, um, this is where our data is coming from,
yeah,
this is where we are failing, this is where we need to improve, and all of those stuff. So yeah, patience, and in that process of patience, make sure you're documenting your processes, make sure
absolutely.
what you're failing at. So I think that's like a really really interesting point for every I think my next question would be like, what are some kind of opportunities available to businesses who like global business themselves as global entities? What opportunities out there are available to them?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a ton of, for me, one of the big ones that I preach about so much is partnership and funding opportunities. I think there are a ton of that are available, right? So these markets are well, established, and there's a ton of companies looking to partner with you in your space. Collaboration and partnership is a big deal, right, in these economies, and so you want to take advantage of that to grow. Okay, so partnership opportunities. There are several portals where you can source and close partnership opportunities for your business, as well as funding opportunities for your business. So partnership and funding, are two things. On a previous call, I was sharing with the audience how there are some business banks in the US, in fact, digital banks, right, who are willing to give you credit lines to any amount, without you applying for a loan physically or coming to the US physically. Just with with your US business and funding your account, you are able to have access to lines of credit, okay, where you're able to spend in advance and repay, through your balance. And so there's so many opportunities, but I think partnerships and funding, business funding now, that is, are very good opportunities that are available to the entrepreneur who's looking to expand their business globally.
Then, so I think that's a very interesting one. The point of partnership and looking out for, right? Opportunities to partner with like other businesses in their space and out of their space. Opportunities to also find funding opportunities.
Yeah,
Big deal for a lot of businesses, and you've heard it that it's by positioning your business as a global opportunities to yourself, right? So the goal of this call is to get to that point where you can finally running my local business. I want to make it global. I'm just starting a business, and I want right. So that's the major aim of this call. So want everyone that's watching this, like, that is the point we want you to get to. So the I think my last question, because I just want this to be a my last question is going to be, so for for the person that is now that decided, okay, I think I need partnership opportunities. I think I want to go global, right? And that person has they've decided to start documenting every single thing of that sort. What are those things that helps global business stay sustainable? Because this person has started a business and is wanting to keep sustaining that business, and in order for it to keep living and breathing, if I could use those words,
Yeah.
that could what is that thing that is going to keep like a business sustainable, right? Because I know like the battle locally is more, right? So what is that thing to keep the business sustainable? What are those one two points you'd advise businesses that want to keep their business sustainable to take?
Okay, so I would say greatly reinvesting. So reinvesting in the business itself. Okay, what are you reinvesting? You are reinvesting in your growth, right? Your growth activities. You're investing in technology, right? Those are two things that will sustain the business because technology will optimize your processes and make you better, more efficient over time, right? While reinvesting in your growth would spoil your marketing, your presence on ground, product sales and so on. Okay, so reinvesting, okay, which I'll break down into two buckets now. Number one being reinvesting in your growth, and number two being reinvesting in technology. Okay, those are two things that will help you, sustain the growth that you would achieve in your global business. So reinvest heavily. It's not something that you should set up and begin to take cash out, immediately. You want it to have a solid foundation that is sustained. Okay, so you might have to employ a level of delayed gratification for a while, just so you can reinvest upfront, so that the returns begin to compound. Okay, so yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I think I really love that point of reinvesting. For the businesses to start thriving and all you're doing is taking out, and all right. And another key point I would also like note there is when you want to stay globally sustainable, make sure you maximize the value of one customer to your business. I think like that's one of the biggest deal for businesses that are sustainable, right? You are able to serve one business owner over a lifetime, and that's called like in marketing, like that's called this your CLTV, your customer lifetime value. How do you know how much your customer is going to spend on your business and all, right? So even recently, we wanted to make this much more easier for business owners to be able to track how to find like this data. How do they tell what one customer is worth to their business? Because this is one thing that keeps business sustainable. If you don't know how much one customer is worth, then customers
Yeah.
just come and go. So recently we just like even like launched like a free tool on our website. So if you go to like this link that's displaying on the screen, you could literally calculate your customer lifetime value. Like you could know, okay, over the period of 5 years, this customer is worth 1 million to my business. Over the period of 6 years, this customer is worth this amount. Over the period of the lifetime of my business, this customer is worth this X amount, right? So if you just go to this link, you could literally just calculate that. So I just felt like I could add that there to help businesses find something that's going to keep them sustainable. So I think that's this session has been really really interesting so far. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to the YouTube box to ask some interesting questions for our speaker, and I would love if you could drop your questions in the comments so we could take your questions. I would really really love to hear from you if you have any questions. So far, just to recap, we talked about how do you get started, and from what our speaker said, he said how to get started is define who are you targeting, because what are you going to do in the global space if you don't know who you are going there to meet, who you are going there to target, right? And also think like a market, right? Think like a multinational, right? Think like a multinational business, and that's one important mindset our speaker said you must have. Like and the third thing our speaker said is after like your mindset getting started, documenting your processes and be patient, but be documenting your processes. Make sure your processes are documented global business out there. And also, like one important point that speaker also said is when you want to you must do when you are looking to scale your business is to so I don't know if you can just reiterate back. So when you're looking to scale your business, you say something very profound there. I'll just love if you could chip it in again. Okay, I think you're muted.
So you said I should reiterate what point exactly?
Yeah. So you were talking about when you were talking about scale, right? Businesses looking to scale. I was just recapping like
Okay. So I think your network is breaking off a bit, but if I heard you right, you wanted me to touch on a few points that I mentioned before. Well, I think primarily I've been pushing for reinvesting in your business. Okay, so as you're scaling
yeah.
up, reinvest in your growth heavily, reinvest in growth activities, reinvest in technology that would help your business be better optimized, better efficient. Right. I think those are things that would really, really help you sustain that growth as you scale. Right. And of course, the opportunities for you out there, partnerships, funding, they are available. Take advantage of them to scale your business even more.
Interesting. So anyone who wants to explore Go Nomad, where should they so anyone that's looking to also explore what Go Nomad can offer for business looking to go global, like where should that person be? Where should they be? Where should they be looking? Where should they be visiting?
Yeah, so the link is gonomadhq.com. So gonomad, spelled GONOMAD So gonomadhq.com. That's the website right there
Okay,
on your screen.
interesting. So that's Go Nomad website over there. If you're looking to incorporate your business in the US, get access to like these global opportunities. Go Nomad is that guide that's going to help you to get to the place you're looking to go. And so far, like it's been especially like the part of funding. I feel like a lot of business out there are looking to raise funding, and there was like a very interesting tip the founder of Godomat gave there, and businesses are not looking to explore, right? So when you are a global entity, there are certain opportunities available to you. There are credit opportunities available to you without having to take these loans and everything like that, right? So you could just sign up. Once you have your business as a global entity, you can start assessing all these opportunities, right? So and to recap, so BrandDrive is and literally what BrandDrive does is just help you manage your growth. Like simply what BrandDrive does is help you manage your growth. How do you track your growth? How do you track your finances? How do you look at your numbers? How do you report these things to back to investors, right? There's even a feature on BrandDrive that helps you that can give access to stakeholders to be able to view progress with your business without you having to report, right? So stake or like this information is already available to them over there. So BrandDrive is that your plug to help you manage your global growth. You could get like your online shop, you could send out invoices. Like there's a whole lot of like amazing things you could do there. Imagine being able to generate your what they call it accountant, this thing accountant do your balance sheets,
Yeah.
your just like in seconds, like you just literally click and it generates, right? And no one, you don't have to be any expert at this, right? So these are some of the solutions BrandDrive offer, and this was a very interesting and insightful session, and I'm hoping we actually do something like this as time goes on. I think the the partnership with Go Nomad is a mutual. Keep doing things like this that's going to help you get your business and keep your business going global going. For honoring this invitation,
Absolutely.
and thank you for coming here
Thank
to
you.
our interesting audience on how to accelerate global to everyone listening. I really appreciate that you could come on board this evening, and the replay will be left here on YouTube for anyone that wants to watch the session again. Thank you so much. I really appreciate, and we hope to also do this some all the time.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
man. Thank you for having us. Thank you, BrandDrive.
All
Thank
right.
you to the
Right.
huge community. We really appreciate everybody. Have a lovely day.
Bye for now. Yeah.